Hey, what's up, guys? Coming to you today with the what's next for Josh Taylor, the undefeated unified WBA IBF junior welterweight champion at 140 pounds. He fought last Saturday, the 26th of September, when he made a mandatory defense of his two belts. It was his IBF mandatory challenger, unknown undefeated Apanun Kongsong, and he made quick work of him. Dominated him. First round knockout victory on a body shot. Looked good. He returned from an 11-month layoff to get that win, a little bit over 11 months, and he got the big win and holds on to the unified titles. So, not really much to say about that. That's impressive. Beating a guy, an unknown fighter, that's how you want to get him out of there, and he got a nice win there. So, the big question now is what's next for Josh Taylor, the unified world champ? Well, a lot of people are automatically assuming that he's going to be fighting Jose Ramirez next, the undefeated unified WBC WBO champion. This would be a huge fight for the undisputed world title, but it might not happen. And people are not paying attention to the fact that Jose Ramirez has another mandatory title defense due. He just fought his mandatory challenger, Victor Postol. Got a hard-fought victory at the end of August by a 12-round majority decision. Now he's supposed to be facing undefeated Jack Catterall, his WBO number one mandatory, is Ramirez. Now, he could give up the belt and still fight Taylor for 3 of the 4 titles, but it would not be for the undisputed crown. And people are failing to understand this. And I keep saying it over and over. This fight is Catterall is next in line for the WBO belt. I was telling people, don't get your hopes up for this fight to happen next between Ramirez and Taylor for the undisputed title. Taylor can do what he wants next, but Ramirez, if he wants to hold on to both his belts, he's going to have to fight Catterall next. Now, he can fight him by December, January area. Taylor just made quick work of somebody. Let him fight somebody in January. December or January. Get back in there quick. Get some rounds in. And then it sets up for a huge undisputed title fight maybe June of next year. And I think all governing bodies would be down for that one. But is that going to happen? That's the big question. So, right now, it's kind of up in the air. Can Taylor fight Ramirez next? That's what everybody wants to see, but I truly believe it would not be for the undisputed title. So for me, I'm going to say no. Him and Ramirez do not lock up. I could be wrong. They could fight for 3 of the 4 belts and say fuck it. But the WBO and Jack Catterall are not going to allow that fight to happen. Catterall's been waiting for over a year to get the fight with Ramirez, and he is due that fight next. So we'll see. Now, what are some of the other options for Taylor if he does not fight Ramirez? Running through the top 10, a fight with Victor Postol wouldn't make sense. He already beat him. That'd be a high-risk fight. Jose Zepeda, I would love to see it. I don't think it happens. I don't think he wants to take a risk against Zepeda. Regis Prograis, a rematch would be huge. Does he want it before Ramirez, though, is the big question. Prograis is dangerous, and he already beat him by a 12-round majority decision. Would he fight him again ahead of a Ramirez clash? That's a big question right there. I think he might, but I really think Taylor wants Ramirez first before he does it. So I'm going to lean towards a no. Anybody else? Robert Easter Jr., maybe he considers that fight, not a bad opponent, but would ESPN and the PBC be able to come together? Pablo Cesar Cano, not likely. You got former champ Kiro Relic, not likely. Adrian Granados, maybe. Jose Pedraza, maybe. Those are options right there for Taylor to stay busy. But, at the end of the day, maybe there's one more option out there. Maybe he just stays busy, fights some nobody, or fight somebody in the IBF rankings to try to just stay kind of on the level. I think Jose Pedraza would be a good matchup for Taylor next. I think that would make a lot of sense. That's top rank. Pedraza's coming off a nice win in his last fight and is moving forward towards trying to be back in world title contention. I think he might fight Taylor ahead of Ramirez and Catterall. they both fight around the same time, set up an undisputed title fight. I think it's, so basically for Taylor, it's one of 3 choices. I think it's Jose Ramirez. I think Regis Prograis could be it. And I think Jose Pedraza makes sense. So we'll see what happens. But that's the what's next on Josh Taylor, the undefeated #1 fighter at 140 and unified junior welterweight champion. Hope you guys enjoyed it. True Boxing, you've been hit with the truth.